All right, so we got to, where's my pencil? We're on page Samach Zion, and we're just about to finish this little section here. So he said, "V'hai cry Yeris Abba." He says that pasuk. I guess the one I'm not sure which one he's talking about because he had this pasuk Zohar Kar of Yumas. Maybe that's the one. He said, "V'hai pasuk V'hai cry Yeris Abba." We inherited from my father, from father. The father the Abba. Wow, I skipped a page. Abba. Okay, the Abba. Okay, Ma'avoy. Dara Kulhu Yahav Lon Mamona Sagi, and on to the Adara until the end. I don't know Adara Kulhu. All the generations. Yahav Lon Mamona Bisagi. They got a whole lot of money. Bishavi Lon Ba'asraihu Keherifayim, and they immediately went backwards, like they went back to where they came from, like instantaneously. Okay, so then we're going to read the other one, which starts on page Samach Gimel, and it starts like this. It says the Uvda Havadachad Bar Nash Higer. There's a story about one man who was a Higer Belucha Baragli. Afkat Latrin Hakimin the Ducha Bahabit called Dara Hakimik of Vasaiku. He ran to the two Chachamim to the top of the line. So then so this Higer appeared over there. So he says, Amalon Shalom Aleichel Rabbanan. So he says Shalom Aleichem to him. Shemanu Aleichel Da'aton Chakimi Dara. So he puts that in. Ana Aton Oslim, where are you going? The Plan, so a certain place. The Erev Shabbos Hab, Abakabelon Aval Gab the Atan Makiva Beira, the Rahat Sagi, so that even though that you're riding on animals that can really move, but on the Higer, but I have legs below Raglin, if you want, on the Akadem the Shabbos, I'll get Shabbos ready for you. The Valhu, they wondered about this. You can't walk. So then how could you come before animals, the rate tova, they could really move fast, they can run. So he says Amalon Shema the Mab Asvun. So he says that this is the name of 20 or 42 letters, Asvan, Vidolig, Lon, Tovkov, Parsi, Berigachad, and they can make it go 500 miles in a moment. Ashkol Garmichael, the Pun Ma'artas, that they found themselves suddenly at the opening of a door of a cave. Smaller, and there was a table set on their left. So he doesn't get into any of these secrets exactly. Because Ma'adne Alma and all of the wonderful things of the world, Allahu, Umanartach of the Rome, and then he had set it up. I guess he set it up like the base of Mikdash. Is the table on the left? I never paid that much attention. So he says, Bashiva Neiros Allah, and so then there was also a menorah to the south with 7 lights. Mita the Kasbach of the Hava, so there was also a bed made out of silver and gold. On the west side between the north and the south. Prokarsia the Mizrach, and then there was a throne on the east side. And then there were 300 students around that table. So after they ate everything, and the Chachamim were eating along with them. Below Raglim, so he got rid of that body that he had that had no feet. The Anpoy Zahirin, and he put himself onto into a body where the face of that body was shining. Because Zohar, like I guess the rays of the sun, the Itmer Maskilin Yaskiro Gomer, that the Maskilin, which I guess means somebody like the Higer here, they should shine. So the Anpe Talmido in the here, and then in the face of the Talmidim, they were shining too. Kakochavim la'olam v'ed, so like they were like an eternal stars. V'chavach b'paschim sifra the Koheles, they opened up the sifra the Koheles. V'karina b'becha b'havel havolim, and they would kept saying this. Amar Koheles v'gomer. So the whole phrase is havel havolim Amar Koheles v'gomer, and he continues, etc. V'havel chazim kam zimnim, and they went over this. He said it many different times. So these great men of the generation said, so he didn't make another craw. So then came entered in by them, I guess, this chigger that they met along the way. The Shiva Heichlim the Shiva, I think I missed something here. He says, they took them to 3 palaces or chambers of Mekasba of silver and the gold, of Avnin Yakirin, of the Hechel the Shiva. When they got to the 7th one, Karasiach the Arba Hevavan, and then there was a throne with 4 chayos. Beyond the Taman the Kasba, then there was also a dove there made out of silver. The Tara the Dahar, and they had a crown on it of gold, al Reshe. Because anybody that doesn't know about these havalim, alei kasiv, on that person, it's written v'hazar hakarev yumas. In other words, you don't belong here. And he says, Inin chachimi darach miyad dachazu hachi. So these chachamim, and once they saw this, the Havakasiv Bahaki Atara Chazar al-Achra, so they saw what was written on that crown, they start going backwards. So the one that originally appeared like a Higer, on you it said the Aton Chakimidara, that you were supposed to be the Chakimidara, this Aton ala Tipshedara. And you haven't, and I don't know, and they haven't seen B'chol the B'daichu, they haven't seen all of your learning. Anyway, so this is something you never learned. Ki bi chashak, because I had this desire, ad orech yamin as biechu, this nice quote in this pasuk, for the end of days I will give you satisfaction, or sate you for till the end of the days. The amad the kula arech, to the day means olam haba, that is complete, that is forever. Elin Havalim the Koheles Eden Barazah of the Sheva Shemalchim. So he says now these Havalim that we find in Koheles, they are actually referring to Sheva Shemalchim as 7 different names. The Behu Mab Asvan. But we understand that there's Anabakoach, all that kind of stuff. Each one of it all together, you put them together, they have 42 different letters. The Kabbalah Shiva Yumei Bereshis, and those 42 letters correspond to the 7 days of Bereshis, the Isplu, Azar, Amirin, the Lamed Beis Elokim, where there you have, in 7 day Bereshis, you have 10 different utterances, and 32 times the use of Elokim, Be'inun Mab, and that makes a Mab. Now, he doesn't really explain this, I don't think, but Laikhu Lev, and on them is some kind of a heart, the Itner Behu Elokim, and which says, this phrase, Elokim, Elokim, V'hainu, V'guvohim Aleichem, that it's, I don't know, it's higher than you are. Elin Sheva Tevin Abgitat, so what is higher than you, or higher, the highest thing? These are the 7 words of the Sheva Tevin that come out of the Avgitats, Alaihu Itmar, I guess he means Avgitats and the rest of them. Itmar, Srafim, because it says, it's a pasuk in Yeshaya, which I didn't see, where it says Seraphim, but it starts with the word Seraphim, etc. Alma Basit Chada, I'm in the wrong place. V'Ofalchi Lanafsha, also here, or wait a minute, I maybe missed something. So I missed something. V'Hai Shema Ichus Gulda Delay the Kasar the Nishpasach Bekatzalichus the Ela Bekol Lelia. So this particular name is a segula for you to cover over your neshama when it goes up at nighttime into heaven. al ovdim tavin the barnash in order to give testimony about the good deeds of this person. Malachi Havala from the destroying angels have become Baziki, Beruchi, get Bologna, Vishadim, and all of these different enemies. Ubechom Parch Barachos Laila, and with it, then you're able to fly upwards. Betrin Asvan Bekol Shem Dekaza Anfahom in the home. So this sounds like the Rishash, where he has the big deal about you cover your face, and then I remember he's going to go through it. He said Betrin Asvan, each set of two letters, I guess, Mikol Shem Dechazach Anpachom in the home. You could cover your face with them. Of a Betrin Asvan Dechazach Raglahon. So the next one you could cover your feet. Of a Betrin Asvan Parchos Paracha Parchos Laela, and with these two letters you're able to fly upwards. So Avgitat says three sets of two, I guess. Vov chachi the rucha, and also here the rucha of ov chachi the nafsha. So I don't know what this frames off. Also here, a spirit or wind, v'ov and a bird. Chachi the nafsha is like this for your soul. V'is shem ben mab, b'tzuras chosama the shava nechtav. So there's also a name of 42 that is sealed in wax. There's also a Shem Mab, which is in the form of the image, I guess the face of the king. Chokik al Chosma, which is also carved into this Chosim. This Shem Mab the Ihud Yukta Mamish, and there's one that's a face. I think the Yukta means image or face. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a face. So his Shem Mab, the Yukna Ihu Avaya. So the Shem Mab, which is this, let's say called the face, is actually has on it the name Havaya. Yud, and he spells it out. So he says Aim Avaya, and then he shows the Milui and the Milui and the Milui. Shem Mab, the Ihu Chosam, which gives you, of course, 42 letters. Mab, the Ihu Chosama, with that particular name like that, is a seal. Ihu Ekya Asher Ekya, and it's also this, which I don't know. Which is also Ekya Asher Ekya, I will be what I will be. Seer Mab B'Shava the Avgitat. So the form or the image that comes out of this Mab that's sealed, that's put in wax, this is the name Avgitat. So then he said, "V'riyushaya nishmascham d'sheidim and mazikim v'lechab'olei b'b'chom elakishuf v'ovdei sheidim k'v'sayku." So people who are evil, their souls are come from sheidim and different kinds of mazikim, and they only do the only thing these are able to do is kishuf and of the shaded like them, they're a match on that. Begin the Rishia called Shemalcham because Chabayim the Kucha Barichu because Malachim son alone. So he said because when the Rishaya, all of their names and all of their Havayas, the Kucha, all the Havaya Kucha Barichu hate them. Because Malachim sonim lom. Begin Kach lo moil. Lo kameya, so for this reason, a kameya won't help them. V'lo shemachim kadishin, v'lo chamalachaya. There's no spiritual force that can help them. Lo tafis elamin b'mino, because the only thing that these kind of good things can do is if they're dealing with someone who's basically good. And that's the reason why we say don't spread or sow your karam with another species. The idmar b'chom. So he's talking about the mixtures again. So he's a idmar b'chom. It says in regard to them in Yeshaya ki karam Hashem tzvakos v'gomer. Apparently, there's a quote over there in regard to the karam. Tzvakos dekuda delay havaya. So the way that tzvakos is played is the normal way that you spell the name havaya. Alei itmar, on this it's written. Rak ba'abosecha chashak, only for your fathers was the cheshek. Cholim shva kometz. Chashak is I don't know what this means. Cholim shva kometz, I don't know what that means. V'inan zera Avraham Yitzchak and Yaakov. So these particular letters, let's just see what they are. There's cholim. I don't know what this has to do with chashak. Chashak is like Cheshik, I thought. The Cholim is Tiferes, Shva is Gevura, and Kamatz is Keser. He says, "Ve'inon zera Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, darga delachon Chesed Kahana." So their level is Chesed, which is the Kahana Rabbah, Gevura, which is Levi, and Yisrael Amudadem Seisa. Being the Cholim, because why? Because the Cholim really Keser al Tiferes. It really is it's in the middle line. So then you have Keser on top of Tiferes. Kometz Chochma al Chesed. So Kometz, I guess he's saying it's on the right line. Ube Harotza the Hachim Yadrim, and that's the reason why we say that a person who wants to gain Chochma should go to the south. And then when you come to Chochma, then that's what that means. It means a person who is waiting and hoping for the Chiyas Amazim. Chochma Chochma is waiting or being patient. So everybody stood up. They said they bowed down before him, and etc. So it seems like there's a lot in there, but he doesn't go on that one. He goes on the other one. So on the other one, he says, Pasuk Rebbe Shimon, back to page Samach Gimel again. Pasuk Rebbe Shimon, the drush beso the satire, so he's going to explain this. So apparently there was a pasuk. Maybe he was working the pasuk, I don't know. He says there's a hevel on the earth. Tochazi, Bavarei, Shemana de Uvdachavahavahava, Bachad Bar Nash, Meinin Balikavin. So we're working about this, why this hevel that's on the earth, right? That's around the earth. So he says that it ran this he started to tell this story. Rebbe Shimon started to tell this story. Shemati Maisa Shehoya Ba'adam Echad, Shehoya Nira Kachiger, Baraglov, Baholak Im Kavin. So he was like a Hebrew, he had no legs, and he was walking with, forget what you call it, what is it called? Whatever it is, he's walking with kavin. So he was going along the way. He found the two Chachamim, Mari the Rara. They were the big shots. So they really understood the revealed Torah. Mari the Chachmas of the Rise, V'gam Koya Chachamim B'Chachmas V'Sod the Satara. Also that. Amalom Amalachem Ozach B'Balekavim. So those Balekavim said to them, Shlomach Alaycha Rabbanan. So he's a Shemana Alaychu Da'ata Chakimi Dara. So I heard that you're the Chakimi Madara. La Alan Ata Azaltun. Where are you going? Le'ezimakam Atem Chochim Abakabalecha Ludun Palan. To a certain place. And he said, "Erev Shabbos hava, v'hoya erev Shabbos v'ratzu the Shvos sham," and they wanted to rest there. Amalon amelechem osach b'balakavim. So the balakavim says, "Anachav zel no daman. I'm going there too. Ani helach l'sham t'chayna achti levenechem. I'll get there first and get everything ready." V'askein l'chu v'asankein l'chu asach b'bei mos vaychol. So I'll make a place for you to make Shabbos. V'achin, I'll prepare. That's if you want me to. So so we're riding on horses, but you have no feet. Let's go to the Zohar. So how's it possible to be like this? So he said to them, this Balikabin, that you're on animals that can really move. That can run fast. And I'm a chiger, I have no feet. He said, go on to the Zohar, if you want. Ana akaden l'sakana l'chu shavaso. So I make Shabbos for you. On the Zohar, the Valku. So they wondered about this. The Shnei Chachamim, Tamalhu Aldiva, they were amazed. So then they turned their face back to him. Zero Rosham Olav the Roso. And they saw him, the Hava Rocket Kasharbita the Kochav. It was looking like a shooting star. Ro some Shahoya Rats B'Mihira, they were going so fast, Kochav Nik V'Sharbit. Sharatz Maher. I guess a shooting star like that. Avalon Kafitzas, they meant Kafitzas Sederik, also the Ham Kafitzas Sederik. How did they do that? Yidei Shem Shal Mab. So something about the Shem of Mab that we don't know. The shame, of Mab Osius of 42 letters, Shuhu Hashem Shal Kafitzas Sederik. So that shame of 42 letters, which is, I guess, the Pasha Tamale, it said later on, that's the one that makes it possible to go someplace instantaneous. They found themselves in a split second, the blink of an eye, they found themselves at the entrance to a cave. Pesach shel ma'ara achas. Amalon, amadachem b'ba'al hakavim. Rabbanan, Ulu, come on in. He says, come on in, Rabba. Rabbanan, iktazet ba'ara. So they followed him in. Ma'arta go Ma'arta, and they saw it was a place with cave inside of a cave. Until they went from one cave to the next, I guess, until they came to a certain orchard. How this was actually created was through the mitzvahs of this particular tzaddik. Umasav hatovim, and his good deeds, samach l'gan Eden, which were near to the Gan Eden atachton. So exactly what that means, I guess a Gan Eden is like the concept. I'm not sure. I always wonder about what Gan Eden atachton means in relationship to anything else. V'hu nichlal im Gan Eden tachton. So he made it right next to it. It became incorporated into it because of his good deeds. So he got rid of that body. Now he had a different body. So he said, "B'chalukah de Rabbanan." I know that we went through Chalukah de Rabbanan. I thought that was a nefesh, like when you're in the kever, you have a Chalukah de Rabbanan. I know we learned this. I don't remember it. B'chalukah de Rabbanan, the anfoy chaven naharnaga kashimsha, that its wings were shining like the sun. His face was shining like the sun. Ba'osach halavush ka'or hashemesh. V'hava Yosef al Kursi was sitting now in the seat, the malchus of the king's seat. V'hayoshev al kisel malucha. V'slas mal samidim atachus kursia l'ragloy, and he had 300 talmidim. The shlosh males talmidim yashvav al karkos saviv b'kisa the ragle rabam. So they were all sitting around his feet. In the ancient days, al karkos savivus ragle rabam. And they were reading, calling out this pasuk. Havel chavolim amagohelet. And they said it over and over again. You couldn't count it. So the Matok says that each time they said it, they had a pirush on it. In different implications, the fiasod. So they said to him, the Baal Hakavim, they said to them, "My hi, what's going on here? I mean, there's a whole kohelis here. Lis kra achra b'sefer kohelis. V'kein ein pasuk achra b'sefer kohelis shekar tikra osa. Miad kam alku Mari Kabin. Immediately Mari Kabin got up. The Chava Yosef, of course, it was sitting on the throne. So he says, going on in the Zohar, and he took them by their hands. And he took them into 7 palaces. I don't know the right word for heichel. I would say palace or chambers. Vehiknes osachal sheva hechelim shenivida al yedecha b'sheva havalim b'pasuk zeh. So these hechelim were all created as a result of the saying of these seven of the 7 times al yedei sheva havalim, through the 7 different types of avodah b'pasuk zeh. If we call hechel of a hechel havakasiv, and each one of them was written, we call hechel a hechel havel havalim. Each one of them had this phrase, hair of havel havalim, the hechel shiviyah. But the 7th one have a nishra v'chatar b'pumaha. There was an eagle, and there was a crown in its mouth. V'hechel shvi koya nasher v'atara chayse b'piv. But the moose yaina b'hachu atara, and on that atara was the image of a bird. But the moose yoda chayse mitzuyeres ba'osa atara. He necha nasher who connected the bina. So what do we know about nasher? So this wants to say this is a rule. Nasher, when you see the word nasher, it refers to bina. Shehi heichel elyon, which is the upper heichel. Hashivi, which is the 7th heichel, which is the place you're reaching towards. Hakolo as called heichelos, which has within it all of the rest of the heichelos. What's going on with the Yonah? Hiba b'chinas malchus, which is not malchus. So you have a crown, you have a nesher, which is which he says is which is bina, and then you have the dove, which represents malchus, anikras bas shevash, which is called the daughter of 7. In other words, she's 7 down from bina. She's sod heichel atachton. Hamakabelas mikol heichelos elyonas, which receives from all of the rest. And then it was written on this crown, Kol man delo yada be'ilain, where are we? Havalim. These people that doesn't know about these olav raza, the lahom, and the secrets that are sort of associated with them. Ki mi she'enu yodea boso mavalim b'chupasoda shalahem alei itmar. It says that hazar hakarav yumo. It's a person that's outside. Should he comes in. Kashuro as zos osava shnei chachamin nechradu charadim is that they started trembling over this. The chain miyad is chazer b'inin la'achora. So then immediately started going step backwards.
Thank you.
We're done. Okay, that was quick. Okay, thank you.